Welcome to Hot Issue. Today we are going to talk all about business memorandum reports.
So what is business memorandum reports anyway?
First of all, what are the importance and the functions of a business?
It's hey, you didn't have business. So where are you going?
This is the main function of the business memorandum to synchronize and plan business in order. So before we start our discussion, let me show you some of the examples of business memorandum reports.
1. Hear who. Record on a meeting's minutes. 2. Request an assistance on a project. A cost estimate. A cost estimate for planning materials and labor on a new project.
Great. Now, let's go to the types of business memorandum reports and its function in business. Investigative report is the document that is meant to provide information on a certain topic that is not easily obtained. It is meant to present the reader with a wealth of easily understood information and usually contains an interview or two on the subject. In order to write a successful investigative report, one must conduct a substantial amount of research and provide the reader with a wealth of information so that he or she can make an informed choice.
Recommendation report present a problem and then provide the evidence required to justify a proposed solution. That problem, unlike most reports, which are written at the request of management recommendation and justification, reports are often initiated by the writer who has observed a problem and wishes to suggest a solution. They employ the document structure and begin with a clear statement of purpose or a problem to be solved.
Okay, so now, after the types of the reports, let us now explore the contents of a business memorandum report. Before writing a report, we must first consider the two main types of reports. Number one, namely, the formal and the informal reports.
Formal reports. In addition to informal reports using memo format and letter reports, many organizations require formal reports on a fairly regular basis. Formal reports are almost always special assignments, and they are almost always analytical.
So here are the prefatory parts of a report, namely.
As a rule, only the longest, most formal reports have a separate cover, which protects the report and announces the title. Covers may have designs to attract attention, but they should be simple. Keep the cover title short, no more than 8 words. The title fly, the first sheet following the cover, carries only the report title. Only reports having covers have a title fly. The title should be worded to include the how of the report, and as many of the 5 W's, who, what, where, when, and why, as possible. The title page includes the title of the report, the name and professional title of the person, or group, department, or organization, for whom the report was prepared, the name and professional title of the person, or group, department, or organization who prepared the report, and the completion date. The sample title page illustrates a traditional format. Modern word processing equipment makes a great deal of variety possible, but the basic components of the title page and their relative importance should remain the same. The letter of authorization authorizes the investigation of the problem. It states the problem and the objectives of the investigation clearly and, in addition, specifies the scope and limitations of the problem. Letters of authorization are more common when one organization is being hired to prepare a report for another, as is true for the sample letter of authorization. Although the letter of acceptance is not usually included in the report, it is the answer to the letter of authorization. It may change or revise the scope of the work requested in the letter of authorization. The two letters, authorization and acceptance, serve as a contractual agreement between the person or group, department, or organization conducting the investigation. The letter of transmittal sends or transmits the report from the person conducting the research to the person who authorized it. In addition to saying, in effect, "Here is the report," the letter of transmittal may state other relevant issues: a. The authorization for the study; b. The statement of the problem, its scope, and its limitations; c. Methods and procedures; a summary of the findings, conclusions, and recommendations; e. Acknowledgements to individuals who helped with the project; and finally, f. An offer to discuss the project further, or to conduct future studies. The sample letter of transmittal illustrates many of these elements. HereWho.com.
Abstract.
The abstract, or synopsis, is a brief overview of the entire report. Because it is a summary, it must be prepared after the report is complete. It should be no longer than 1 page. Short reports may include the abstract in the letter of transmittal. Reports of intermediate length typically include a separate 1-page abstract, and long reports often include a 3 to 5-page summary (KN). An executive summary. A descriptive abstract describes the contents of the report. It tells the reader what is there. A summarizing abstract relates the information contained in the form in reduced form. It shows the reader what the report contains. Because summarizing abstracts are generally more useful, they are more common than descriptive abstracts, as the sample abstract illustrates. More information on abstracts and summaries, see the material on summaries in the section on special considerations in the form and function of business reports. The text of the report presents the data gathered and the analysis. This is the central and largest part of the report. The summary of the report restates its main points. It serves as a reminder to the reader of the research and analysis presented in the text. The conclusions are objective statements based on the findings of the report. This section of the report should introduce no new concepts, but should be based entirely on material previously presented. The recommendations are somewhat subjective statements suggesting a particular course of action based on the conclusions.
Supplemental parts. Appendix.
Appendixes, or appendices, contain copies of the letters, questionnaires, forms, or blueprints used in obtaining the information for the report. They also contain other supplementary materials not actually used in the report itself. The report may direct the reader to an appendix for further reference or clarification. Because readers do not usually read appendixes, nothing important should be put in one. They serve primarily to support report data for those who have an unusually strong need for additional background information.
Bibliography.
The bibliography lists all the references, books, periodicals, journals, speeches, interviews, newspapers, and online sources used in the report.
So important as the leader is to the group. They help to keep the business in order to make decisions in many other ways. Without it, the business would certainly disorganize and most likely it would not last.
Thank you.